Morning, everyone. Yeah. Better. Welcome to Board of County Commissioners meeting. Today is December 5th. It's 9 o'clock here in St. Dallas. Could we do roll call, please?
Commissioner Thayer?
Here.
Commissioner Richardson?
Here.
Commissioner Wilcox?
Here. This time, Rory, I think. Continue our prayer and pledge, please.
Please. Father, we're just so thankful to be here today, together. We're thankful to live in a country of freedom. Father, we just pray that you bless this gathering. Bless the commissioners, Lord, that they would make wise, just decisions. Father, guide us and direct us in the way that you want us to go. And we just pray that this whole process today will glorify you, Lord. We pray these things in your Son's name. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Do I have to change the agenda today so we can do that?
Okay, Mr. Chair, I move we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, on the elected officials, department head and staff reports. What do we got, Sam? I think we are Rory now.
Rory's first.
Okay.
Dallas is second.
Commissioners, Roy Dale, Director of Public Works. We've discussed this a little bit previously, but I wanted to kind of give you an update on the Highway Users Tax Fund and the road inventory. Staff's going to put a lot of work into it. We still got a lot of work ahead of us. We're looking at an in-depth review of the fund itself and the actual inventory. This includes locating resolutions and acceptance and or vacations, as well as researching whether or not there are dedicated right-of-ways or easements associated with the roads. Staff will correct any discrepancies, and there are some, on the 2018 HUF report prior to the submittal deadline, which is June of next year. And that's typically every year. Staff will also be performing the necessary tasks of evaluating roadways identified by staff for vacation. And we are prepared to do so. We're recommending BOCC, what Public Works believes to be in the best interest of all of the taxpayers, following all necessary statutory guidelines. The staff has been working on this project. We've identified roadways that the county has maintained that have not been formally accepted, or there are no recorded rights-of-way or dedication easements. Public Works will also make a recommendation to the BOCC regarding these roadways prior to the June deadline. There are no statutory requirements for the need to take formal action for roads that were maintained that don't have easements or dedicated right-of-way. Obviously, we'll have a discussion with the commissioners about that, as well as the property owners prior to, so everybody understands what the process is, and we're working on that as we speak. We've already spoken to the county attorney about the specifics as far as resolutions, ordinances, and their statutory requirements. In essence, we've got work to do. I think there's discrepancies on both sides of the HUF report, our inventory, and what CDOT says we have. There's roads that we're maintaining that are not on the report that should be, that are actually county roads, so we're working to fix that. It's going to take some time. Any questions?
Yeah, you're also doing a gravel road study, are you not?
We are. So
So will these things be kind of in parallel to each other?
we hope it is. I need to check with the county engineer to see where we're at in the process. But that will be identified as well. And I think you're also aware that we are going to try to seek DOLA funds to completely redo the West Elbert master or traffic study or traffic. We need to cover the entire county. So hopefully that's going to come into play next year. Once that document's updated, we'll have the bridge assessment done as well and the gravel road assessment. So we can start tying all those things together. And those are all components of the same thing. Without having all those pieces together, it's difficult for us to make decisions or make recommendations to the BOCC. Any other questions?
Oh, good, thanks.
By the way, I will give you an update. This year's HUD funds are projected to be around 2.8 million. Next year, the projection is to be down a little bit, around 2.7. That roughly equates to about $2,400 per mile of road that we get annually. So if you do the math, it's not a whole lot of money to take care of the number of roads that we have. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. I am very excited to give you this update today. This was our first meeting that we went full-blown with our new system, the agenda and minutes management system, Civic Clerk. Doing some last-minute calls with the guy yesterday. I said if I was 8 years old, I'd be jumping up and down. I'm pretty excited about what this is going to do for us. It's going to be great on our side as far as managing documents and agendas and getting them put together. It's going to be easier, I believe, on your all side to see your packets when they're sent to us. But one of the major things it's going to help too is with the public. They will be able to log in and see exactly what you guys have in your packets, be able to see the agendas and do that through a portal through our website. So it's going to be a terrific tool. As we all get more and more comfortable with it, it's going to get better and better. There should be more efficiencies as far as the chain of documents go through for approval. They can all be done through the system. There's just a lot of positive things going through the system, and I'm excited that we have it. It's been a long time coming. I saw a system like this similar to the very first clerks convention that I went to, and salivated over it then. So I'm very excited that we're able to put something together. And so I want to recognize a few different people and departments that have been instrumental in getting this going. IT has been terrific to work with this, getting the links seamlessly working with Civic so that both you guys and the public can have access to the documents. It's been good, had no problems with there whatsoever. I want to thank you guys and Sam for giving us the green light to go ahead with this. Also, I want to point out that this system puts a lot of responsibility on the department heads and elected officials to make sure their documents are submitted in time, and it's up to them to upload them, put them on the system and everything. And for the system to really work optimally, we need to have buy-in from everybody, and we do. And it's great to see everybody working toward a common goal that's going to, in the end, benefit not only us but the citizens as well. Rachel has been involved in all the meetings as well, and she ends up training me because Sam can attest to this. If I don't know something, I ask Rachel. If you guys need some more information, ask Rachel. But it's been a team effort, and it's been really good to see it come together. I have a couple more comments, but if you have any questions specifically about Civic Clerk, I'd be happy to entertain that.
I'm good. I really like
I sent you my questions yesterday.
Okay.
But it's good.
There'll be a few bumps as it's a new system. We're all trying to learn it and getting there, but I think it's once we get it humming, it's going to be terrific. I generally try to, towards the end of the year, give you all an update what's happened in the clerk's office, and I thought this would be an appropriate time with the unveiling of the civic clerk. It's been a big year in the clerk's office. We've had 5 major events, major things that have happened, and I just want to relay those to you real quick. Of course, we had the primary election, which any election is a major event within the clerk's office. This year we were a little bit more excited because we got to do it again as far as a recount, and with the 1 vote margin in the commissioner race. And that's pretty remarkable that we were able to duplicate exactly the same results. Yes, there was a 1 vote margin, but we know exactly where that ballot was and the reason it was where it was, and it's pretty remarkable that we're able to work with Secretary of State's office and the judges and the staff that we have to be able to do that. In the midst of all that, you've all heard me complain about the new drives system, but we implemented that as well August 6th. We're still struggling on the backside with that, as everybody in the state is. It's a little frustrating, but the ladies are doing very well on frontline work and getting that together. So it was a complete new system that took place this year as well. And of course, we had the general election in November. Thanks to staff and election judges, we balanced absolutely 100%. Every ballot was accounted for, and that's a testament to what the good work they do. And then, of course, implementing civic clerk today. So a lot of things happened in the clerk's office this year. And I just want to say I'm so proud of the ladies that I work with. They do such a great job. They step up to the plate. If there's extra work to be done, they do it. They help each other. They assist each other. And it's really rewarding to be able to work with the ladies that have such dedication to their, not only job, but the citizens of this county, to make sure they do everything they can to make it right. And so I just encourage you all in the public, anytime you get a chance to be over there, take a few minutes with those ladies and ask them how they're doing, what's going on, and just tell them thank you, because they do a tremendous amount of work. They don't care about the hours they work. They'll work as long as it takes to get it done. The way they assist each other is truly remarkable. And so I just want to point out that the clerk's office staff is top notch.
Is there anybody left at Bank of the West?
Not over in Liz. We've took them all. Between Rick and myself, we have cherry picked.
Okay, good. All right, thanks, Dallas. Okay, any more? Thanks, Dave. Okay, now, open public comment. 3 minutes, comments unrelated to items of discussion or action, which allow the opportunity to discuss in that. Yes, sir. Sure, please. Your name and state your name.
My name is Bernard Gordon. I own land down in the L of Elbert County. It's been in my family for right at 125 years. And my comments are in regard to the road situation and the removal of certain roads. I was at a meeting a couple of months ago with Rory, and we chatted a little bit about it. I gave some documentation. Part of the problem apparently has to do with easements. I gave some documentation that there's about 3 miles of road that goes through our place, and fully 2 of those 3 miles are right on their county lines. So we gave documentation that we do have easements on that. Services were cut off to us back at the end of August. And I guess a couple of questions that I have. At this point, it seems that there's only a handful of landowners who have had road services cut off. And why the choice of certain landowners was made, I don't know. I mean, if it's a countywide initiative where all landowners that are in the same condition as us with road services are cut off, that's one thing. But if it's just 2 or 3 or 4, it seems almost, well, I don't know if I'd say prejudicial, but it doesn't seem to be quite fair. And so I have some issues with that. You mentioned the HUF funding. I would assume for our roads, which are probably in that, so we probably have about $5,000 of HUF funding currently for those roads. But again, we haven't had any services since August. We shipped out a bunch of cattle in October. Couldn't even get the road graded, so I had to do that myself so we could at least get semis in there. And so I guess the biggest concern is just an idea of a level playing field so that if everybody's on the same page and everybody gets treated fairly, I mean, that's one thing. But if it's just purely parochial and certain people lose services and other people don't, I don't think that's quite a fair issue. And based on your mission statement that's on the front page of your handout, Elbert County trying to provide services for infrastructure, I would, I'd like to say that I would hope that the benefits that our ranch and a lot of other ranches in Elbert County have to the county and to the tax base, that it would be nice if we could get services. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Tim Sheridan, I live down around Seminole. I came to kind of talk about the same thing that the last gentleman talked about. I was at the meeting he was at here a couple of months ago, and I was told that commissioners in the past did good old boy things, and you were put on the HUD fund because you were a good old boy. And I worked for Elbert County for approximately 38 years. I was road and bridge superintendent up until 10 years ago. And I really have to disagree with the statements that were made about the good old boy system, because back when a lot of this stuff was done, the county was split into 3 districts. Each district had their own commissioner. And most of the people that live in this county now weren't even here 40, 50 years ago when some of these things were done. And to come back and just arbitrarily say, this was done in the good old boy days, we're doing away with it. And to me, that's not right. I've stood on both sides of the table. I've sat where you guys are. I've stood out here. And I just do not think it's right when things that were done 40, 50 years ago, which made sense, the commissioners agreed upon it, voted on it, added it to the HUD fund, to come back 40, 50 years later and say, we don't have the correct paperwork, we don't have this or that, so we're kicking you off. And really, it's no skin off of my nose what you do one way or the other, because I'm not affected by it, but my neighbors are. And I always tried to do what I felt was the best for the county's interest and the people living in this county. And to just arbitrarily go through, maybe it's not arbitrarily, but to go through and just pick out certain ones and say, okay, you own all the property in your place, so therefore you're the only one using it. We're taking you off the HUD fund because you're not losing money off of these. I'm sorry. They told me it costs more to maintain a mile of road one time a year than what you're driving in on the HUD fund, and that's not true. When I'm getting off subject, I guess, but when I was superintendent here, I had the east end of this county. I had 70% of the road, 40% of the budget. Biggest complaints I got was, your roads are better down there than they are up here. You're getting too much money. I was told what it costs to build a road, a mile of road, and I gotta play the BS best card. Because it's not right. And I could go on for hours here, but I'm off subject, so I'll stop here.
Enjoy your 3 minutes. Now, you guys all in contact with Road and Bridge are currently working with? Have you been in contact with Road and Bridge and currently working with?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I've called a number of times. Sometimes I get return calls, sometimes I don't, but yeah, I've called.
I just want to be sure you're working through this with.
Oh, yes. Yeah, in fact, I can give you dates and times that I get calls.
Okay, thank you. Heather?
I'm Nancy Atwater. I'm a neighbor to Bernie Gordon, and we have been working on this project with Bernie and every bit of it. One thing that I feel like is wrong is we have been told that we are not to talk to our local lake operator. We are not to talk to the commissioners. We are supposed to go on up, and I think this is the wrong way to go. I think we need to have communication all the way up to make things right. Thank you.
I've done a comment I can make is, let's wait till we get the study so we know what we're evaluating.
Got a lot of working process.
And you just have services in the meantime.
Yeah, regrettably, most of these roads are in my district. So it looks like I just lost 3 votes there. The reality of it all is we've got to become in compliance with the legal, the state has contacted us about different things, and with legal, and one of the things that the 3 of us have been very serious about is making our decisions based on data. And that's what we've asked Rory to put together a report, complete with recommendations. And you heard me ask him the question about the gravel road study. We're trying to do 3 or 4 things all at once. And I can't tell you how they're going to fold together because I'm not clairvoyant. But I really do want us to make our decisions based on data. And based on Mr. Gordon's comment there, fairness is a big part of the issue. And when Rory, Mr. Hale, comes with his report, if we sense that it's unfair, we will ask the questions. If it's fair, then, and for the people that have got to know me, is that my first question is always, is this fair? Fairness is very, very important to me. So, and there's several of these roads that the type of roads you're talking about are on land that I've owned at different times. So I know where some of these roads are, and in fact, they affected me personally. But that's not the issue. The issue is what's the data, what's the right way to do it, and what's fair. And we're going to wait for the report.
No services, no, at this point, it's expansions.
So we can't make decisions. Okay, not in this thing. Not in this. Okay.
But
Is there any
thanks.
other public comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to, Nancy, I mean, we're always open to talk with anybody in the county. The answer may be you need to talk to staff first, or we need to get back with staff to get more information.
That's right.
Certainly, I don't think the intent is to say that we can't be talked to. So.
Marlene Groves, 3300 Ridge Road. I just want to follow up. I don't know if this would be maybe for Rory. Danny and I have talked a little bit. Where are we at with Highway 86? If you guys are doing all this CDOT chatting and following up, you know, they came out here. They promised us, you know, last year they were doing something. Then they promised us it would be done and started, I don't know, I think the date was like October. So that was one question, just because of all this road chatter. I'd love to have a follow-up on that. My next
So
item.
would we.
I know.
Well, we did get it.
So
Update your reason.
the next thing is, I did try the county website's new program, Dallas, your civic clerk, is that what you called it? And that worked pretty well. I kind of shared that out with other citizens and things like that. I did hear you say in your update that the responsibility will fall to each department for, let's say, uploading or backup documents. Would the commissioners please entertain, or Sam entertain, somebody being I don't know if that's the liaison or the follow-up person, to make sure that that does indeed happen, so that in future meetings, it's not like they just didn't get uploaded or something like that. So it's brand new. It's a good time maybe to put something like that in place. And maybe it already is, but that was my question, Dallas.
Yeah, we already have procedures in place to make sure that happens. There's hard deadlines that has to take place. We're able to email directly from the system to a department head or elected official that has an item on the agenda that has not uploaded their document. So we'll be keeping track and being on top of that. If the documents aren't loaded, it'll be pushed to the next meeting.
Thank you.
Must have been find out where I was. They clean signs.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. All right. Any other public comment? Okay, on the discussion items. We've got a updated fee schedule. And Christina, you've been working on that.
Christina Stanton, Director of CBS, working with Sam and Board, Lori and Jerry from HHS. We're all trying to get everything updated and ready for the new year. I know I had some additional adjustments the week before this was finalized, well, not finalized, uploaded, because it's still being worked on some. The fees I have are an update and trying to make it cleaner. The current fee schedule for CBS is 4 pages, front and back, goes on, very messy, hard to find, hard to figure out what it is. And you know, if I'm having difficulty with it, that means staff, applicants, citizens, they're all having difficulty as well. So we've tried to clean that up. Some of the other adjustments that were made had to do with items that either were higher than we thought they should be or way lower. There were a number of impact fees that were adjusted. They had not been adjusted since 2008. So we brought those up to current pricing. The new format's much cleaner, much easier. I did have to add the conceptual plan review calculations based on projected staff time for review and processing that and bringing that forward for summation to the BOCC. I did discover also after setting this up that we are missing the floodplain permit piece. Those are going to be added. So I wanted to note that. Ask whether there are any other major questions or changes. I tried to adjust, as I stated, for some of the changes that are coming in the zoning and subdivision regulations. So there may have been some name tweaks to try to line up with those particular items. Such as the Tier 1, Tier 2 being removed from the SUR process and trying to clearly identify the acreages and the minor process and working on that. If there aren't anything specific otherwise for CBS, I'm going to go ahead and let Lori, Faith, or Kyrie come speak to their permit fees. And if we have anyone who wants to talk here for HSS.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tyra Zion, Public Works Assistant. A lot of ours was just cleanup. We're trying to standardize our forms so it's a lot easier for our constituents. We do have minor fee updates. One is with grading. We'd like to split that out into commercial residential. That is very much industry standard. We've also checked with our neighboring jurisdictions so we can get in line with their fees. Our fee changes are minimal. A lot of it is to the actual forms themselves to give our customers some ease in filling those out. Any questions for us? Ours are a lot easier than CVS, I promise.
And Commissioners, I'll speak on behalf of, oh, I'm sorry, Faith, go ahead.
The changes proposed to the building department fee schedule are really similar to what Kyrie just said about Road and Bridge. A lot of it was cleanup. We're proposing adding different construction types that are on the ICC building valuation tables that are published each year, and we are proposing to use the most current published ICC building valuation data table in order to determine permit fees.
Yeah, so the biggest change is actually recognizing the different construction types.
It really was,
Trying to shoehorn everything into stick.
Yep.
And then we did, like 3 years ago, they brought them up somewhere.
So in 2017, they brought them up to the 2015 ICC building valuation table valuations. So we're just at this point trying to bring it to a current valuation table.
And when you say current, does that mean 2018?
That means 2018.
I'm pleased that we're getting
I
these things
You
updated.
guys did a lot of work.
Yeah, it was a lot of work, but I think it's good. I think it's cleaner. I think it's yeah, I think it will be easier once adopted and published on our website for people to determine whether building permit fees are going to be and understand why.
I got a call this morning from somebody that believed that she shouldn't have to get a permit for a barn. And the whole point that I'm trying to make that, she says other counties don't have it. My discussion with other counties is there's a couple that don't have it, but they're in the process of putting it in.
Yeah, so what we are proposing, strictly for agricultural buildings, or we're defining them as shell-only structures, and this is directly on the fee schedule. We're proposing that we only value those at $12.05 per square foot, rather than the $44 for accessory structures, because we do want to have a lesser valuation for agricultural structures, but we don't want it to be abused. So like I said, we've defined that as shell-only structures, which essentially means, you know,
Yeah,
or all
that was my attempt to compliment all three of you guys in getting it so that when people ask us questions, we know, first of all, we know who to send them to get an answer. And I know when I first got elected here, there was a lot of confusion over the fees. And
Yes.
I think that you guys streamlining is going to help us a bunch.
I think so too. Any other questions?
Commissioners, on the HHS fees, there's a couple holes in there. We'll get those plugged before next week's when we recommended adoption. Jerry just wanted to pass on that they, you know, we looked at their fees either late last year or early this year, but we're going to do a couple minor mods to that, but it's pretty much what we approved last time.
I've said enough.
Okay. Do you have any other comment on the fee schedule?
Marlene Rose again, 3300 Ridge Road. My question was on the, let's see, it's on the HHS, your special event inspection fees, and then it has pending approval. I remember when the commissioners meetings, you guys had some discussion about, you know, bringing forward event fees and stuff like that. Is that done and final yet? I mean, is that, where's that at? I mean,
You're talking about special events?
yeah, I mean, because that's where I saw this, was on HHS. And
Yeah,
then-
but in your table there, it's there. We just haven't approved the regulation book behind it.
Okay, and that was my understanding, because I was like, did it go through, we just wait? All right, well, I just wanted to clarify that I hadn't listened. Thank you.
Just want to point out, updating regulations is more of a challenge than I ever thought it would be.
No.
Well, then, we should do all, do all, everyone, we did zoning, subdivision, then we did our building, we did everything, so. Which they need, yeah. They totally do. Yeah. Okay, any more public comment?
To Miguel Alvarez, 502 Meditation Circle. It's just a comment, I was looking at the shell structures, right? So it has the double asterisk. And it says shell-only structures include no interior, no electrical, gas or plumbing, basically 4 walls, equal or less than 4 walls and a roof. The question is about this, shell-only structures include no interior, comma. What does it mean that has no interior? Right? The 4 walls, there's an interior. Okay, so it should be clarified, right? Because no interior seems like it's, I don't know.
Thank you. Any more public comment? No? All right. Beyond action items. We have a couple things here. Our October 24th meeting minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept the minutes as presented and dispense with reading.
Second.
Any comments? Any comments? Public comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Controller County certifications.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the county mill levy that has been presented to us pursuant to Resolution 18- to be determined Elbert County 2018 mill levy certification. I can read the mills out if you want, but I don't think it's necessary.
I second, but I understand that what went out online is a little different from the
Yes,
final.
Yes.
we need a comment from.
Thank you, Commissioners. So there was a slight mod on the mill levy certification resolution based on a triple check with the Treasurer's Office. The only thing that changed was the final mill levy there for refunds and abatements. That went up to 0.029 mils, and that's based on what we get in terms of refunds and abatements. So that was a slight mod to the package, the document in the package, but so the total mill levy for the county will be 28.046 mils.
Would you like me to amend the motion to state that, or is that good enough?
I think we're okay, because it's stated on the resolution. Okay, so we've got a motion and a second, and clear that up. Do you have any comments here? No. Public comment? All right, all in favor? Aye.
It's changed very little from last year.
Yeah, but the only one we adjust is.
Yeah, the only one that's variable
is
is
the abatement.
refunds and abatements.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's go to board planning. What do we got for board plan? I know next meeting is huge.
It is big, not everything, I'm not gonna have everything. Of course, we have the minutes from 14th of November, we'll have today's minutes. We will have, hopefully that day on the Elbert County fee structure as an action item. And I know there's discussion of several land use items, but I don't have those, so maybe someone can update. Just so for your all's information, we're gonna change a little bit about how we go about putting the agenda together. And so we'll be putting our agenda meeting, we'll actually, for a while here, have two. So we'll be meeting tomorrow to put together this preliminary agenda. And then as you all want more items, we can notify the different departments that they now have a new item on the agenda. And then we'll also keep our same meeting the week prior as well for a finalization, so we make sure we catch everything. This is one of our bumps.
And we also approval of the budget, the three ordinances that were published, and the building code, is another ordinance.
Bring a lunch.
Now, will we be adopting, or hearing the fee schedule next week, or
Yes.
next meeting?
For adoption.
Okay, so this time, let's ask for a motion to adjourn. And then we'll start up as the board for the three separate approvals.
Mr. Chair, I move we adjourn the BOCC meeting and reconvene as the board of the Foster Estates and Foster Ranches Public Meeting Board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, I think let's call to order as the Foxwood Estates and Foxwood Ranch Board. Do we need a roll call?
Yes. And just in the future, if we could do two different motions instead of combining them, it'll make it a lot cleaner for me. Thank you.
Let's do that now.
Yeah,
We can do that.
yeah, I'll withdraw my
Okay.
original motion and just move that we adjourn.
Yeah.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We adjourn. Now you want
All
to, are we
right, so-
convene then as the board? Are we okay?
Based on the first motion, yes, we are.
Okay.
Commissioner Thayer.
Here.
Commissioner Richardson.
Here.
Commissioner Wilcox.
Here. So, first one, we're considering, what we consider each year is the mill levy certifications for these different, essentially subdivisions and improvement districts. This one's for Foxwood Estates and Foxwood Ranches, and it's a public improvement district. The board is over this public improvement district, and we have to set the mills each year. That's what these are about. It's based on their assessed value and how much the annual payment goes back from improvement that has been district. And the improvement was paid to us. So, with that, we've got it out there, we've got the, in here, do we have any comment on
We're going to hear several of these. It's just purely a mathematical
It is.
exercise. You've got 80 years you're obligated to, and then, so then with the assessments, and then you back calculate the mill levy to pay the mill.
What we do is we calculate total assessed value based on what's going to produce our revenue, and we set the mill so we'll produce that revenue. So, I think there's going to be a mill levy of 26 mills. So,
Yeah. So unless we need to go read the thing, I move that we approve resolution 18- to be determined, Elbert County 2019 mill levy certifications for Foxwood Estate and Foxwood Ranches Public Improvement District.
Second.
so do we have any other discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now, we can adjourn that district. We have that board.
Mr. Chair, I move we adjourn this hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Trying to save Dallas.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I move that we open the hearing and convene as the board of the public, Meadow Station Public Improvement District.
Okay. So do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we need a separate roll call, because where you are convening now is the Meadow Station Public Improvement Board.
Commissioner Thayer.
Here.
Commissioner Richardson.
Still here?
Commissioner Wilcox.
Okay. With that. Essentially the same thing, just talks about the mill for Meadow Station, it was for the paving of their roads. There's gonna be a mill levy of 16 mills added to your tax report, it would be pretty close to the same. But you have to produce 47,192 revenue from Meadow Station. And I believe in a couple of years, that's coming to me. Yes.
Rather than discuss this further, because it's similar to the previous one, Mr. Chair, I move that we approve resolution 18-2 to determine Elbert County 2019 mill levy certification for Meadow Station Public Improvement District.
Second.
Okay, do we have any discussion on this? Any public comments? Oh, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. On the next one.
Adjourn.
I'm gonna adjourn.
Mr. Chair, I move we adjourn
Thank
the
you.
board of Meadow Station Public Improvement District.
Second. All right,
Okay.
all in favor?
Oh, aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, I move that we convene and open the hearing as the board of the Sun Country Meadows Public Improvement District.
Second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Roll call.
Commissioner Thayer,
Here.
Commissioner Richardson,
Here.
Commissioner Wilcox.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, the discussion on this one will be similar to the previous ones. I move that we approve resolution 18-2 to determine Elbert County 2019 mill levy certifications for Sun Country Meadows Public Improvement District.
Second.
All right, do we have any discussion on Sun Country Improvement District? No, this one will be 16.4 mills. Will produce 189,000 a year, 252. Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, I move we adjourn, close hearing and adjourn as the board of the Sun Country Meadows Improvement District.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, Alice, you have to re-adjourn or close out.
We're
We can
adjourned,
re-adjourn.
so we're good. Just when we start back up, we're gonna have to reconvene because we
Okay.
officially came
That's
out of
all right.
BOCC.
All right.
Go back at 1.
Thank you, folks. Back to 1 o'clock. We have a few minutes.